Going on, all you amazing people out there in Garden Land? So it's May 24 weekend 2023, and I'm going to show you guys how I build my living soil. Um, I've just ordered three 50-gallon fabric pots off of Amazon. They'll be here on Monday. And I don't want to add this stuff dry to the fabric pots. I got to wet it down because it's going to come to life, sort of like aerobic compost, and I need it to have a chance to do that. So we're going to build it today. I'll show you everything that I'm going to add except for one ingredient, which I don't currently have, but I will get and I'll add after. I'll explain that and I'll run you through my process. Okay? All right, so just to start things, this is leftover living soil from last year. So it's in a big tote. So once everything is all made, I have to store the living soil in bins. So I'm going to dump that out on the tarp. We're going to use that as just a starter. Next, we're going with ProMix HP with mycorrhiza. This stuff is fantastic. We have perlite in a bucket because that's how Andrew at Johnny Genetics sells it. He buys it by large format and then he divvies it up into these buckets, and if that's not enough, I got a big ass bag of perlite. In the back we have worm castings, cow manure. We are going, that's Thor. Hi Thor, say hi to the camera, or not. We're gonna go with sea compost because I was trying to get my hands on some organic mushroom compost, but the stars are just not aligning right now. So we're going with this. But the nice thing about that is that it's got seaweed in it, which is kelp, which people use a lot of kelp meal to fertilize their soil with. And it's got the shells from the seafood, which has, not creatine. I can't remember the name of the thing that shellfish have on them. I don't like supporting Miracle-Gro, but I was kind of stuck. And then we have cattle manure, right? Weed-free, bonus. If we come down here, we're going with some blood meal, some bone meal. We have a little bit of powdered eggshells from last season, so we're going to add that in for some calcium. Now, I'm going to try this stuff this way. This is mycorrhizal spores, but it's in a liquid format, and like you see, it's made right for growing weed. And I talked to my grower and he says this stuff is the stuff to use. So I've got that. I also have some more of these mycorrhizal spores. So normally, I'll show you how it comes. Do this all one-handed with my camera. All right, there we go. So normally it comes in like a flake or a powder, right? But this stuff is a liquid, so I got to read the instructions on how to apply it. Stop eating everything. All right. Next we have bat guano, right? We've got Gaia Green All-Purpose 444, and then we have Gaia Green Bloom 284. So that's essentially what we're going to be adding. There, I'll hold this out if you guys want to do a screenshot. Okay, take a screenshot. And, okay, ready? Okay, so all we're going to do essentially is open up that tarp on the ground. We're going to start opening up packaging, and we're just going to start pouring all of the ingredients into the pile in the middle of the tarp. We got the tarp laid out. If you need to blend a large volume of soil, this is the best, most efficient way to do so. Okay, so we have our tarp. I don't know, it's 10 by 12, I think. All right, let's get you centered on the tarp and we'll just get to work. So we're going to start off with the ProMix HP. So when you get your bale of ProMix, it's hard, okay? And it's going to be all clumpy. So when you're emptying it out, you got to break it up with your hands, or it'll just be in big old lumps. Okay, so I'm gonna pour a whole bunch of this out. So this is what a whole bale of ProMix HP looks like. Next, we're going with worm castings. About 3/4 of a bag of worm castings. Next, going with perlite. There we go. Perlite. This is going to keep that soil nice and light and fluffy, and it's going to absorb water. One bucket of perlite. Next, we're going with composted cow manure. Composted cow manure. Come on, go away. Next, we're going with the sea compost. Next, we're going with the composted cattle manure. Okay, I'm going to open up a bunch of buckets and we're going to do the next part pretty fast because I don't want my powder fertilizers to blow away. So next in order we have mineralized phosphate, which is bat poop. Down there we have powdered eggshells, the Gaia Green Bloom, Gaia Green Veg, mycorrhizal spores up top right there, and bone meal and blood meal in the back. We're just ripping through it all. Just got to get it in and start mixing the soil. So if you're wondering how much of everything I put in, that was about half a cup of bat guano, a couple of tablespoons of the mycorrhizal spores. This is a 3/4 cup measuring cup. Now this is just preliminary feeding as well. The plants will be fertilized with Gaia Green over the course of the summer, as well as I'll be watering in the plants with molasses dissolved in water to feed the bacteria that we're going to grow, because this is living soil, right? So there we go. All-purpose 444. Great big scoop. Put the lid back on that one. Put the lid back on the bloom. Get that out of here. Next, we're doing bone meal. Bone meal. Leave it. And then we're doing blood meal. Another big old scoop. And a little bit for good luck. And the last thing we're gonna add is alfalfa pellets. So you have two options. You can go to a grow store and buy a tub this big, okay, this is 2 kilos of alfalfa meal and spend 25 bucks. Or you can buy a 50-pound bag of pelletized alfalfa, which looks like this, okay? It's horse feed. And all it is just pure alfalfa. And this 50-pound bag was $17. So 2 kilograms for 20, 25 bucks, or 50 pounds for 17, you tell me. And now we're going to add some of this, and it says I can't get it on my hands because there's 5 different types of live bacteria in here. So I'm going to go put some rubber gloves on. Okay, so it's kind of brown and foamy. We're just going to add capfuls. All right, so first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take our shovel. Hi, buddy. We're gonna take our shovel. Hey, wanna be a YouTube superstar? Say hi. Yeah, I know. That's Thor. He's still just a puppy. All right, leave the tripod alone. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take a shovel and we're just gonna spread that all out quick. All right, so now this is the real reason why you're using a tarp. What you're gonna do is you're gonna pick up each end, you're gonna pick up the corners, and you're gonna roll that into the center. Then you're gonna go to the other side, you're gonna grab it, and you're gonna roll the material into the center in a great big mound. And that's going to, as you're rolling it, it's going to mix all the material, and then you just spread it out, do it again. So you see how it's mixing it all up and it's just pulling it all back into the center. So now I'm gonna just shut the camera off and I'm just gonna repeat this 5 or 6 times and it's gonna be really well mixed, okay? So I'll get back to you when I'm done. So this is what I'm going to be hooking on to my tap from my house for my water outside. Okay, so what we're essentially doing here with the soil we're making today is we are making a living soil, right? We added all kinds of biological life to that, and that biological life is going to feed our plants, right? But if I use my regular tap water, it's got chlorine in it and it's got chloramine in it. And that is going to kill all of that beautiful biological life that we are trying to grow. So I'm going to hook this up to my tap and I'm going to run a hose out here and we're going to water that down with water that we're going to run through here. We're wetting it down, bringing all that biological life to life. So it probably looked like I put a fair amount of water on there, but peat moss and the rest of the ingredients there are crazy dry. So now I'm just gonna do the whole thing where I roll up the tarps again and blend up all the material, and we'll go. Now that the easy part is done, we're just gonna start filling containers and stuff to store this away. So this is everything we ended up with. A great big tote, which I can't even lift. Normal size Rubbermaid tote, 2 50-liter bags. I had potting soil in here, but I kept the bags, so we've got 2 of those, bam bam, and a third of a earthworm castings bag. So definitely hundreds of pounds anyways. So that's so now I'm gonna just move everything into my backyard, put it in a cool spot, and sorry, I got the sniffles. And then we're just gonna let this sit and hang out until we're ready to plant. And like I said, I've got 3 50-gallon smart pots getting delivered by Monday. So we're not planting this weekend anyways, probably next weekend. So keep your eyes open for that video. All right, have a good one, guys. If you're not subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow it. Smash that thumbs up and leave me a comment. Have an awesome day. See ya.